Hey guys, it's Joe. Welcome back to my guides for the rares of the Mist of Pandaria. Today we're going to look at the Townlong Steppes. This is a very interesting zone in that most of these rares actually drop bags of items. In particular, they're going to be crafting materials for the most part. Again, this is done in the beta, so there's a lot of issues. For example, the bags aren't a 100% drop rate, so I wasn't able to get them all. The other thing is, the people that did get them, there are issues with the bags opening. Some of them open and have nothing in them. So I'm going to have to be creative as to show you what other people have found via the forums and stuff like that. As always, the specifics on the abilities and the achievements for these rares are covered in my very first video, which I'll link here in an annotation. As well, at the end of this video, there will be a link to the main hub map, which will show you all the other zones that I have covered so far, if you want to go and peruse those as well. And with that, our first stop takes us up north, near the Shadowpan Wall, with the Mogu Warrior Cat. Alright, once again, with my friend Claudia in tow, we go out rare hunting, and we find Kah'tir, and he drops, I would say, easily the most interesting thing out of all the rares in this zone. He drops the big bag of arms. Luckily, this was recorded back when the drop rates for these were 100%, and the bag actually did open for me. What I found was the Yungal Battle Barrier. It's a nice, epic, item level 420 tanking shield. Now, doing my research, I have read that supposedly it can drop other purple epics, which would be similar to the ones that we saw in the Jade Forest. Of course, this is the only one I got to see, so I can't confirm that. And this one is different than any of the ones we saw in Jade Forest, so I tend to believe that this will be the item that he specifically drops, but again, things can change. Alright, we continue on down south to Fire Camp Usul, where we find Lon the Bull. You will notice that he has a bit of a path that he wanders on the white line there. So he is a little bit tricky to find, and especially since that's a decent questing hub, he might be a little bit harder of a kill than some of these others. One of the reasons I say this is because firsthand knowledge, I had a hard time finding this guy. He was the last one that I got in the zone. Unfortunately, that being the case, he was one of the later ones where the special items didn't drop. This one is supposed to drop the big bag of herbs. Now, I can't find anything on this, so it just goes to show that not many people are getting it, or the ones that are getting it, the bags are bugged and they're not finding out what's inside them, or they're certainly not reporting them anywhere via the forums or whatever. Obviously, we can only assume that this is some assortment of different herbs from the expansion and maybe a little bit of gold, who knows. So, again, sorry, unfortunately, that's just part of beta being beta. Alright, we continue our way down south to a Hosen named simply the Yowler. Much like the Dread Waste, he is in a cave under the big tree there. Alright, once again, Claudia reappears and the Yowler drops the big bag of food. Okay, see again, this was something that we could not open at the time, so I'm going to have to assume, again with the theme of most of this stuff going towards professions, that this is going to be for your cooking, meaning it'll probably contain some meats or spices or something of that nature. Seeing as the Farmville cooking and all that stuff is very, very big in the Valley of the Four Winds in this expansion, that's where I gotta go with it, because I haven't found anything else online. I'm sorry, I'm doing the best I can here. Dipping our way even farther down south, we have Esalaam. He's a Jinyu, he's in the Amber Marsh, which separates the Dread Waste and the Townlong Steppes. As you can see there, he has a couple locations where he can be found. Now, he does have a few ads around him that you want to clear out before you take him on. Luckily, obviously, I had Claudia and a random warrior, and as you can see, he lags a little bit and then finally dies. That was something that was going on in the beta for a while. Alright, so what he has is a big bag of linens. Obviously, we're looking at the tailoring profession with this. And once again, I can't find anything on this, so we're just going to have to assume it's going to have some cloth from the expansion in here, maybe a little bit of gold as well. Boy, I feel like a failure on this video. Alright, we scoot on over a little bit to the west, still in the Amber Marsh, where we find a Salrock named Siltrus the Sharpener. Much like Esalaam, there were some ads we had to contend with, and also, like Esalaam, we got some help from a random stranger, so that works. But let's see what Siltrus has. Big bag of skins. So, leatherworking, folks. Again, can't find a darn thing on it, so we're just gonna assume it has some leather scraps or leather pieces that you need for leatherworking. Awesome! Can you tell how not frustrated I am by this? It's fantastic. Continuing our way west, we find Lithic the Stalker. Now this mantid can be found in 4 different locations, as you can see marked on the map by the red circles. Yet another random helper when Claudia wasn't around this time, with a boomkin named Volatile. Thank you, Volatile. We get a big bag of jewels off this sucker. Family jewels. Yeah, too many jokes there. But, of course, the big frustration. Nothing on this. So it's obviously something for jewel crafting. Jewels for you to craft with the jewel crafting. Let's move on. Alright, our next to last stop is up north. Mr. Norlax, the Mogu Sorcerer. He is on the west side of the tree there by a giant floating orange crystal. Okay, obviously normally we show you the end of the fight, but I wanted to show you what you'd be up against from the beginning. As you can see, many ads. There's the orange crystal up there. There's only one ad, I believe, that is connected to him that you will have to fight. That'll be the one on the left-hand side. Of course, as a sorcerer, he has all those void zones, so I had a tight little space I had to work with, so you might want to bring a friend on that one, or just, you know, be aware of what you're dealing with. Alright, so he drops the big bag of mysteries. This I actually have information on. Unfortunately, it didn't open for me, but according to Wowhead, we're looking at a Shaw crystal, some spirit dust, mysterious essences, and ethereal shards. So, it's enchanting materials. Shaw crystal is basically the maelstrom crystal of this expansion, so at least we got that information. That's something. Alright, we head west for our final rare here in the zone, Yule Wildpaw. He's a Pandarian just hanging right outside the cave there. Alright, once again I'm joined by Volatile, and we take out Yule's Wildpaw. Eventually, there we go. And he drops the big bag of wonders. Okay, last one was mysteries, now this is wonders, and the information I'm getting again, because I couldn't open this, is that it is full of enchanting materials as well. So, again, I'm not totally sure if all this is in stone at this point. It is the beta, but yeah, that's all I have for you. Sorry. Now for me, this brings to mind a bonus clip I always wanted to show you guys. This was the first time I ran into Yule Wildpaw and found a Horde Warlock attacking him. Now, if you're not familiar with the Pandarian's abilities on these elites, he has this spinning crane kick. He also has a healing mist that heals him up almost to full, if not full. So this Warlock was fighting a never-ending battle, not having an interrupt for that heal. Try as he might, he couldn't damage it enough to counteract that heal. Now, the other thing about a Pandarian is it has an ability called a Chi Burst. If you are outside a 15-yard range, it will do a Chi Burst that will almost one-shot you. It pretty much does one-shot you. So when I Typhoon him here, not thinking about it, it'll knock the Pandarian off the ledge and cause him to do this Chi Burst. You can see the Void is trying to deal with it, but unfortunately gets tagged right through the ground, and then now the Pandarian's Chi Bursting through the ground onto the Warlock, and the Warlock is dead, and thus ends the fight. And he tries to Chi Burst me there, but I Shadow Meld and I'm okay. So yeah, that was one way to deal with that, as you can see the Pandarian going to reset. Alright folks, besides that little outtake, I decided that since I don't have vanity items or anything of that nature, and I really didn't know who to take the puppies and the warrior from the other videos to go defeat this particular video, I decided, you know what, let's show them a little behind the scenes. You obviously hear my voice throughout this whole thing, but it seems obviously pretty smooth most of the time. I want you to hear some of the bloopers and outtakes of what actually goes on during the recording process, so do enjoy this. Hey guys, it's Joe. Welcome back to my guides for the rares of the Mr. Manda. Today we're going to look at the Townlong. This was recorded back when things were 100% drop, and this bag actually did open for me. I didn't mean to cough, I ruined the take. And the bag actually did open for me, and what I found was the Yungal Battle Barrier. A large... Why do I do this? He was probably killed a lot, as a, you know, including the fact that he is a knowing this firsthand, because he was the last kill I got in this zone because of those very facts. Meaning it'll probably contain some cooking stuff in terms of like meats or spices or something to that nature. Yay, Mantid with all its whirlpools. What? Whirlpools. Yeah. Yeah, because whirlwind, whirlpool, tornadoes, air, water, whatever. Alright, our next to last stop is up north. Mr. Norlax, the Mogu. Mogu? He's Mogu! He's got more goo than the other guys. Norlax brand, he's got more goo than the other guys. Alright, Volatile joins me once again as we take out Yule Wildpaw, and down goes Yule Wildpaw. Wow wow paw, wow wow wow, wow wow west, wow wow paw, wow wow west, wow wow paw. I'm an ass. Alright, scooting over a little bit to the west, still in the Amber Marsh, we found ourselves in a very uncompromising. Wow, even my bloopers suck. Alright folks, I hope you enjoyed the guide and the behind the scenes of the insanity in which it takes to make them. I do appreciate everything as always, folks. There is a link here on this map that will take you to the map hub video, so you can go and check out all the other zones from there, making it fairly convenient, hopefully. As well, I'll put a couple other links to some of my other videos up there, just so you guys can see those as well. Again, like I said, thank you very much. Do appreciate it, and as always, take care of yourselves, guys.